Vale, creo, entonces, si yo no recordaba mal, iban a adaptar, o sea, iban a hacer un motor para ese modelo, ¿no? Entonces resulta que el cuadro de 3,5 es bastante diferente al cuadro 2025, no entiendo, ¿no? O 4,5. Ambos se adaptan al motor de 600. Hostia, Kincade, claro, este era uno. ¿Recordáis que Kincade mandó el chasis de la KTM 3,5, creo recordar, a los de Pantera para acoplar, no sé si hacer un motor para ese modelo o acoplar el chasis al motor, no me acuerdo exactamente para qué era, para un 600 two-stroke, recordáis, ¿no? Que él mismo dijo, como esto va a ser un proyecto muy largo, porque voy a mandar el chasis y ya no sé cuándo me lo devolverán, vamos a seguir con otras cosas. Pero hace 3 días subió. ¿Qué ha pasado? Entonces esto tenemos que verlo, chavales, tenemos que verlo. ¿Qué ha pasado con el proyecto 602 tiempos? A ver. Espera, loco, espera. Esto. Subtítulos. Necesitamos la segunda parte, totalmente. 2 meses. Uy, más sí. Tengo aquí el perrito abajo y te da una patada. Perdona.
I didn't lie on purpose, but I stripped this bike all the way down to the frame, sent this frame out to Quebec, Canada, where Pantera Motorsports is located. They 3D scanned this frame into the computer and started mocking up what it would look like to get that motor in this frame. And as it turns out, the 350 frame is quite a bit different.
Vale, creo, entonces, si yo no recordaba mal, iban a adaptar, o sea, iban a hacer un motor para ese modelo, ¿no? Entonces resulta que el cuadro de 3,5 es bastante diferente al cuadro 2025, no entiendo, ¿no? O 4,5. Ambos se adaptan al motor de 600. Vale, que los modelos de 4,5 y tal de esos años sí que encajan, pero son totalmente diferentes y no encajan ni de coña, ¿no? Pone simplemente no encajan.
But I've already acquired a new chassis for the snow bike build, and that is this 2021 Honda CRF 450R. Now, if you have been around the channel for a while, you recognize this bike as this is.
Pero entonces no hay proyecto two-stroke 600, porque ha dicho simplemente no encajan. Y ahora tengo una KTM 3,5 totalmente desmontada y no sé qué hacer con ella.
Monty's old 450. Monty bought a new CRF 250 last year and has since been trying to sell this 450 without much luck. And when Sebastian sent me over the model list of compatible bikes with the Pantera 600 engine, this was one of them. So I said, hey Monty, I'll buy your 450. So Monty sold me this beautiful machine right here for...
Vale, dijo, esta CRF 4,5 sí encaja el motor de 600. Vale.
And it's going to be pretty crazy to take Monty's old 450 and turn this thing into a ripping two-stroke snow bike. Now the original
en una moto de nieve la va a convertir.
I pulled out of that chassis was to put that motor inside a Honda frame. I think doing a Honda CRF 350 build would be super popular and would be a really cool giveaway bike because from my experience, everyone tends to love the 350 motor and wishes that Japanese manufacturers offered them. So while I tear this bike down getting it ready to...
Sí que se le estaba pasando por la cabeza meter el motor de la 3,5 aquí, de KTM, no tío. Es un sacrilegio, por favor.
Become a snow bike, I'm also going to take that opportunity to see if that 350 motor fits in this frame and what sort of modifications would have to be made to make it possible. Because that would be a huge project with tons of custom welding, custom machining, probably 3D printing and oddball solutions for where to mount different things on the bike. So
Kincade, no te líes, loco, no te líes.
Snow bike build, we'll just be sprinkling a little bit more content in here, seeing if other potential future projects are possible. But with fall having arrived here in Montana, it would be a shame to not...
No te líes, loco, no te líes.
Before we take it apart.
Esta moto es muy divertida. Pero dice, no le veo el sentido de tener un 4,5. Te revienta mucho más que cualquier otra. Es que anda tela, ¿eh? Es muy exigente, como no esté fuerte. Le gusta más la 3,5, más que la 4,5. Vale, pero voy a pasar esto y vamos a ir al taller, ¿vale? Al garaje. Espera, espera, espera. ¿Me he pasado?
Now time. Well, I had an absolute blast riding this CRF 450. It is now time to begin the process of transforming this 4-stroke cross bike into the ultimate 2-stroke snow bike. One more pan over of this bike.
Vale, quiere hacer la mejor moto de nieve 2 tiempos. O sea, el motor 600 entiendo que lo quiere meter aquí. Ahora es que yo escucho moto de nieve y claro, yo digo, esta gente está flipada. Pero claro, es que yo... O sea, no he visto nieve, sí he visto nieve, pero claro, es que aquí no nieva, tío, por regla general. Pero allí sí, allí te nieva y cuando sorteó la Honda dice, no la puedo llevar hasta dentro de no sé cuantos meses que se quite la nieve. Digo, hostias, claro, es que aquí no estamos acostumbrados.
So this led me to a somewhat unusual order of operations, as the swing arm was the part I needed to remove to take arguably the most important measurement and determine if the CRF 350 project could be done. Swing arm removal is actually pretty quick. I removed the...
Pero es que a la vez aquí está diciendo la CRF 3,5. No entiendo qué es lo que... ¿Cuál es la de nieve? Quiero hacer otro proyecto. Es con la traducción no me estoy enterando. La traducción es como los indios.
Now I had just assumed that a KTM 350 engine would be more narrow where it mounts to the swing arm than a Honda 450 engine. I knew this would be an immediate crux of the project if that wasn't the case, and unfortunately,
su amigo tenía un poquito de descuidadillo, ¿eh?
12 mm wider than the width available between the Honda.
El motor de KTM 12 milímetros más ancho.
And I'm not sure if it would be structurally strong enough with 6 mm of material.
No, loco. No es buena idea. No es buena idea, Kincade.
Which would also be tricky to deal with. Ultimately, after taking these measurements, I decided it made the most sense to put the 350 back together. It is a complete
decidí que era mejor montar la 3,5 otra vez. Hace bien.
Chassis or engine now. Turning it back into a 350 and riding or selling it was the logical thing to do.
Montarlo y venderlo o conducirlo, pone.
Clean components and fix a couple little things that previous owners had done incorrectly or replaced with incorrect parts. Now I know I'm way off in left field here from the snow bike project, but if you've been following along with my 2025 KTM 300 videos, you will know I robbed the fuel pump from this KTM 350 for my new IMS 3.5 gallon tank on my 300. OEM KTM fuel pumps are $300,
la bomba de gasolina nueva.
but Quantum Fuel Systems offers a replacement for $190. So I wanted to test one of their pumps out on this bike. Now I've installed a few KTM fuel pumps, but always in a large tank, and that makes it much easier to feed the pump through the tank. With this OEM SX tank, it is a tight fit, and I struggled for a while to feed the pump where it belongs. I ended up wrapping some wire around one of the ends, and I fished it through the tank with a magnet and then pulled the pump through with that wire. That worked much better, and despite still being a bit tedious, made it feasible, whereas without the wire, I would have been struggling for a long time. With that new fuel pump from Quantum Fuel Systems installed,
con lo bien que funcionaba un grifo de gasolina toda la vida.
which fired right up and is a dirt bike once again. So guys, that is the
Y yo, la Honda está mucho más guapa.
current status of this project. I have had tons
Estado
of
actual de la
comments over the
Honda.
last couple months asking what is going on with the 602 stroke, and I wanted to provide an update. So you guys are probably looking at this thinking, well, where's the engine?
¿Dónde está el motor exactamente? Eso estamos pensando.
Pantera 600cc two-stroke engine on the 3rd week of November. Development of a brand new engine is obviously a huge undertaking, so props to Pantera for even making it happen. I know they are now producing these engines as
Están
fast
produciendo
as they
esos
can.
motores.
I've got my
Vale.
spot in line. So if all goes to plan from here, you should be seeing the next episode in this series sometime in December, and I will have that Pantera 600cc two-stroke engine right here in the garage. And of course,
en algún momento de diciembre espera tener el motor 600 dos tiempos. Vale.
Stripping this 450 down to the frame, get the suspension set up for snow biking, get myself a kit, a whole plethora of things to do to transform this thing into a snow bike. So as soon as I get the shipping notification for that engine, we will get things rolling. In the meantime, I have links down below where you can find yourself some merch. There's a link for Rocky Mountain where I buy all of my tools and parts, and I earn a commission on your purchases when you use that link, along with a link to Quantum Fuel Systems. Big thanks to them for getting me a fuel pump for that 350. I will let you guys know I have a secret build in the works, and I hope to have that thing complete in the next few weeks.
Tiene una construcción secreta en proceso que lo dirá cuando corresponda. Dice, aquí hay un pequeño adelanto, Yamaha. Y esta tapa por esta forma no es precisamente nueva. Es una Yamaha con unos añitos. Es una Yamaha con unos añitos, ya os lo digo yo. Ya os lo digo yo.